Well, made it through. This is midnight club drifting right here.
What's up, Nitro Gang? I'm wearing a Nintendo 64 shirt. I got my vintage N64 here on the table with the most classic, iconic remote control Nintendo ever made, and I think the best one ever. And of course, no video is complete without a Nitro car. This one is the HPI Nitro RS4 Drift. That's right, you heard me say drift. I know many of you guys out there probably thought only electric drift cars existed, just like this Nissan Skyline GTR. I drifted in my prior video, did quite well. This is like a budget RC. But what happened to Nitro Drift, right? Well guys, HPI did not forget about the NitroGang. This particular chassis I bought brand new. It first came out in 2014. Take a look at some of these pictures from the HPI website. And I did some digging for the NitroGang, guys. I found my original purchase price for this. I wound up paying $175 on Tower Hobbies. You could see right here is a screenshot from my Tower Hobbies account back in 2015. That means I have had this for about 5 years now. I've done a few videos on this, but all of them have been, you know, more or less because I didn't really know what I was doing back then in terms of video making and storytelling. So today we're gonna take this out, we're gonna start it up, we're gonna get a Nitro Drift going. And I also have some foam tires. I'm actually curious to see if this thing is actually fast on regular tires. You know, whether they are rubber or foam really doesn't matter. They say this is an optimized drift chassis, and we're gonna take a look at the chassis in a little bit. But you gotta realize, for a Nitro Drift car to actually be successful, there's a lot of things really holding it back. And I'm not saying this one sucks, we're gonna figure it out. It actually doesn't suck, I'll tell you right now. This is one of my favorite Nitro RCs ever made by HPI, and I'm quite sure will be a collectible one day. The reality is, for drift, you really don't need speed. And this video is a video request from one of my viewers. Thanks so much for putting that in the comments. I just want you guys to know I read all the comments and I do my best to respond, you know, in some way that I can appease everybody. And if I happen to have the RC that you're looking for me to do a video on, I'll do a video on that. I may be knee deep in Nitro RC parts, you know, one of those is this Schumacher here that I'm working on trying to get it started. But we gotta take a detour and talk about the HPI Nitro RS4 Drift. Okay, let me remove the body. And just so you know, this is probably one of my favorite looking bodies that HPI has ever made. A quote on their website says, it looks like it's going 100 miles per hour standing still. I think I agree. This thing actually looks like it's going really fast. This is some kind of licensed body. It's a Nissan S13. I'm not sure if this is like some kind of JDM version of the Skyline or something, but doesn't matter. This is the Nissan S13. That's what it's branded as. Let's remove the body. It has very good detail, by the way. The wing in the back is fixed. I didn't paint anything here. This is how it was. Pretty nice. The chassis itself, right? That's what we all came here to see. Well, maybe just me. I care about stuff like this. This is the chassis. So, in the center you have the power plant, the HPI G3.0 engine. One of my favorite small block engines. This develops close to 2.2 horsepower and it runs great. This is the same engine that I have in my HPI Nitro MT. In a previous video I hit 48 miles per hour with it on a single speed car, guys. So this is an engine that hauls ass. To be honest with you, I was thinking of putting this in a Revo or a T-Max, but then I hit a roadblock. The roadblock is the fact that this is a side exhaust engine. So I don't know if anybody could devise a way on how to mount this in a Revo or a T-Max, but I think this would be a great upgrade motor. They're actually kind of cheap on eBay. The last listing I saw, you could get one of these brand new for under 100 bucks. 2.2 horsepower, you know, 0.18 size engine. I don't see anything wrong with that. This actually beats the specs of the Dynamite 19. You might be asking yourself, what does the HPI Nitro Drift and N64s have to do with, you know, anything in this video? Well, I like both of them, and they're both Japanese. You know, they're ingrained in Japanese culture. The N64, pure Japanese nostalgia right here. You know, I even have a 007 video game. This is not the best one for any of you guys that know about collectible N64 video games. GoldenEye is the best one. But yeah, this one was cheap, so I got it. And yeah, by the way, this has the expansion pack. You cannot play an N64 without the expansion pack. This doubles your video RAM, and the quality of the video output is substantially better. I also have pretty much every accessory you could have gotten for the remote back in these times. This is the memory card, right? So you used to have to save to memory card just like this. There was like no built-in video game memory because the cartridges just did not have enough space to save some of them, I gotta say. This is a rumble pack right here. It is detachable and it is powered by just regular AA batteries. Yeah, so back then these remotes did not have like a rumble vibration function, and you used to have to buy an external rumble pack. Pretty cool vintage nostalgia, you know, right here. Of course, can't forget about the Nintendo 64 shirt. And just so you guys know, I have another one that is officially licensed by Nintendo. I like this kind of stuff. You know, sometimes I break it out in my videos. This is one of those times. Here is the chassis. This is very unique to only the Drift series. As you look it over, I know it looks nothing like a regular HPI RS4 2 or a RS4 3 design. Completely unique. I think my favorite feature is this rear style exhaust. So they did this on purpose to mimic, you know, a rear exhaust on a regular real 1-to-1 scale car. So yeah, it's like a canister here, it goes out through the side and it exits out the back. Engine is as center mounted as possible. This is ideal for weight distribution, and one of the reasons Nitro RC Drift never really took off is because to get the chassis centered for a drift is really difficult. The components here are relatively heavy, but you could tell HPI did a lot of different unique mods, and nothing here is pretty much the same as any other RS4 3 chassis. This is one of the most unique models. There are, you know, RS4 3 Type SS, Evo Plus, this and that, doesn't matter. This, in my opinion, the Drift chassis is one of the most unique. Even the way the servos are mounted, they are very unique. You could tell the throttle servo is literally in the center of the chassis. They did a lot of stuff here. One of my favorite features is so simple, but yeah, you gotta love it, is the primer bulb on the tank. I love primer bulbs, and most Nitro RCs today don't even include this. I like it. You never have an issue priming the motor. It's great. This is a pull start model. The reason is, you know, at this time a lot of these were shaft start, but look at this exhaust. There's literally no way to get to the back plate of the motor in case you needed to use a roto start. So pull start, easy, it always works. I love that. They say this has a drift optimized transmission, although as I look at it, this looks like a regular spur gear. I wouldn't say it's some kind of low tooth count, and this looks like a regular clutch bell. Maybe the gearing is a little bit unique, I'm not quite sure, but for all intents and purposes, we're just gonna call this like a regular transmission, even though they say it's somehow optimized. The shocks, everything here is factory. They're normal. They also say in the HPI ad that this has some kind of drift optimized suspension and shock geometry. It's like a regular shock system. If anything, it's actually a little bit under dampened, which maybe is what you want for a Drift RC. You don't want a lot of dampening. It's possible. In the center here, towards the back, they have this little handle. I kind of like this thing. This is cool, though when you pick it up, you could tell all the weight is in the front. So yeah, it is basically a lot of the weight is biased towards either the middle or the front, which is what you want. The chassis itself has a lot of cutouts here for, you know, lightening the rear of the car. You want a lot of that weight to go to the front because the steering is really what's gonna control our drift. Let's check out the electronics. This has the HPI TF40 2.4 gigahertz unit. I actually pretty much like it. It's not bad. Let's turn it on. Is it on? Yeah, it's on. So here we go. This is our steering. It's a normal steering setup. I would say this maybe has a little bit more throw than like a regular touring car from HPI. So yeah, you want a lot of steering throw and you want it to be fast. These are HPI 10W servos. They're both waterproof. They are just adequate. I wouldn't say they're extremely fast or particularly good at anything. This has 4 AA batteries here in the receiver tray, and that's basically the Nitro Drift chassis. Let's go start this thing up, see how it runs.